Hello, 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 and welcome to today's episode of Her Version. This podcast is dedicated to sharing stories of struggle to triumph, a platform that allows individuals to tell their truth in order to inspire and uplift others. For those of you that are new to this podcast, make sure you like content like this. If you like content like this, make sure you follow, like, and share. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria. Let's jump right in. Thank you for joining us today for this episode of Her Version. The Her Version platform is built on storytelling and the understanding that many times our greatest learning experiences come from listening to other people's stories. Today, I'm speaking with an amazing woman named Ileana. Ileana is here today to tell a journey of compassion, comparison, and disconnected power. Her journey has led her all over the world through studies of spirituality, metaphysics, unseen realms, and new age ideas. We will be touching on religion, disempowering beliefs, and her love for transforming lives. I am so excited for this podcast. Hello, lady. How are you? What do you think's been the biggest challenge you've gone through in your life?
Well, I think it was the fact that I had these expectations that it was my partner's job to make my life happy, and so that was the thing that I operated under without realizing. And so waking up from that, and it was ironically the breakdown of my marriage that made me realize that this is not going to work. And really, I'm disempowering myself by asking someone else to do that for me, and it's not fair. So that propelled me on a journey of total awakening. I did a lot of inner work. I did a lot of shadow work, inner child work, and also taking responsibility for my life, realizing that it is my job to take care of me. And I also started to study non-religious spirituality. That was a huge piece of my life, and it's like a 35-year long study. And it still continues to this day. There is so much beautiful information out there that I wasn't aware of before. So that's really helped me in my journey.
I don't even know what that is. What is it? What did you just say? Non-religion spirituality?
Non-religious spirituality.
Yeah,
So,
tell us about that.
okay. So my basic belief is that we are spirit beings having a human experience.
Spirit beings having a human experience.
Okay. Which means that we're much more than this body, this mind, this outer being. We are actually beings of light, which incarnate here and in other places to have particular experiences. So our true essence is energy. It's not matter, it's energy. So energy can take many forms. So reincarnation is a huge belief for me, and that we reincarnate in every life to learn certain lessons and to accomplish certain things. We have a soul contract that we have come here to fulfill. And there are people who incarnate with us to help us do that. So it's just this beautiful journey that really never ends. And this life is just kind of like a drop in the bucket of that eternal existence.
Do you believe that it's only here on Earth that this reincarnation's happening?
No.
Really?
No. I've read so many books and so much channeled material. And there are a number of hypnotherapists who have regressed people to other lives that they've lived on different planets and different worlds. Have you heard of Dolores Cannon?
No.
Yeah, so Dolores Cannon was a hypnotherapist who worked in those places, and she was a prolific writer. She's passed away now. She wrote a number of books about her experiences with the different people that she regressed, who reported on different lives, and not all of them on this planet or on this dimension, and it's, in the future and the past. And it's an incredible vista to see, and it just helps you pull out of your human persona and adopt a very different view about your life on Earth. At least it did for me.
Why do you think it's not mainstream? Why do you think this is not something that more people know about?
Because we are very conditioned to and programmed to behave in a certain way, so that we don't awaken to this ultimate reality of ourselves. Because if we were to awaken to that, we would probably decide to live very differently than we live right now. Because right now we are told how to behave, how to dress, how to think. We are actually told how to do everything. What is normal, what clothes to wear, what makeup to wear if you're women, how to wear your hair, what to do after 50 and what not to do. This is
What
constant,
conditioned
constant,
us?
many different things. So it starts in childhood, right? First of all, as soon as you're born, pink or blue, right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Starts, right? And then all the expectations around who you are, when you should speak, when you shouldn't. Little girls are made of sugar and spice and everything nice, right? And that already tells you how you're supposed to be in the world. Children should be seen, not heard, these kinds of ideas. And then as you get older, you're socialized, especially now by social media, which has an enormous influence in young people's lives.
Yeah.
And the comparisоnism, right? The comparison, everybody wants to be the most beautiful. And, they forget that things that are posted on social media are not necessarily the truth. It's curated material, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So it creates a world of kind of people who operate on automatic pilot without realizing that they have all these programs in the background. So it's culture, it's family, it's religion, it's media, it's education. All of those different components combine to create a particular type of living. This is how you fit into society. And if you're kind of outside, people start to look at you funny, or you're viewed strangely. This is why we have so much censorship now, right? Because whenever people step outside of that, they begin to be censored.
Yeah.
Which to me is a dangerous trend in a free society.
Definitely. Was that nerve-wracking for you to kind of step into kind of that new age thing, or were you raised like that?
Not at all. I was raised in a very stifling religion. Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. Until the age of 10, I was raised in a very non-religious, atheist, agnostic environment.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So my parents had a huge library, which I devoured before the age of 10, on all sorts of different subjects, including spirituality, including yoga, including transcendental meditation, all sorts of interesting, fascinating things.
Okay.
And then at the age of 10, they were discovered by missionaries from Jehovah's Witnesses, and they ended up converting. And so for the next 10 years or so, I lived in that environment, which I found extremely stifling, and just it didn't agree with me.
Yeah.
So when I was
So
around
then you're
20,
20.
right. So
Okay.
then at that point, my parents got a job overseas. My dad got a job overseas and went away to the Middle East. And I convinced him to take my mom with him. And I started university. And when I started university, my mind just blew up. It just expanded because I studied psychology and philosophy and English literature and mythology and everything that I absolutely loved. And it was at that point that I realized I had to leave this religion, because my mind would not be contained by such,
Yeah.
small ideas. So I left at the age of 21. I wrote a letter and disassociated myself because I didn't want to be harassed. And it was hard to tell my parents. It was very difficult to tell my parents because I knew my mother would take it personally. I was, going against her values, etc.
Yeah.
I knew I had to do what I had to do. So ever since then, I've kind of followed my own path. And that's just how it's been. And I've realized I'm not like most people. And I came to terms with that, and it's okay.
Definitely. Definitely.